Welcome everyone. Welcome Daryl. Welcome everyone. What do you think of Bitcoin? Good investment? Bitcoin by definition is not an investment. It's like saying, is gold a good investment? Gold doesn't pay dividends. Gold doesn't pay nothing. You know, it stays stable in price. It's good for stagflation. But Bitcoin is not even that. So, no. I wouldn't recommend Bitcoin. If I would recommend Bitcoin, I would have over 100k followers by now. But I don't, because I'm honest. I tell you what is, not what I wish it would be. Index funds. So, Rich, so the thing is, you have to understand that, look, you have to understand what the situation is right now. Like, if you asked me this question 10 years ago, I would say, yeah, index funds are like the foolproof, like I explained it in my book, A Guide to Almost Foolproof Investing. I explain index funds. It's probably the best thing you can start with if you're a beginner. But you have to look at market cycles. And what is happening right now is not the end of the short-term debt cycle. It's the end of the long-term debt cycle. That means it's not going to be a recession and it's going to rebound, and then you can invest into tech and crypto. And during a recession, you can hold bonds and cash. This time is, it's not the end of short-term debt cycle. It's the end of the debt cycle, period. This is going to end horribly. There's de-dollarization going on in the world. Countries like China are dumping the dollar. Smaller countries like Iraq, Egypt already are moving away from the dollar to do business in other currencies. And this is going to end in hyperinflation. And where we're heading towards is a time of high inflation and a stagnating economy, also known as stagflation. And during stagflation, you want to hold assets with real value, with intrinsic value, okay? Which is why my entire channel basically is about commodities, holding commodities during that period. If it wasn't like this, I would be talking about tech now, but unfortunately it is. So we're going up, but Yeah, there's a tech rally going on right now. So what are you investing in now? I'm all in commodities. I'm all in commodities. I know you might say like, oh, commodities, they went down, ha ha ha. Yeah, we'll see. You want to buy low and sell high. You don't want to buy high and try to sell higher. If you manage to do that till now, congratulations. But that's not what you want to do during stagflation. You want to stick with the economic fundamentals. So what you're investing in now, okay, going up, but also just to whoever said this, Carl Songon, we're going up, but yeah, so there's tech rally going on, primarily driven by the new get rich quick scheme called AI. But an environment of high interest rates and high inflation is the opposite of good for tech. So I'm warning you right now, it's a trap. So just like crypto, I'm not denying there's people that make money with it. I'm not denying you can't make money right now with it. But I just hope you're not holding the back, right? So what commodity stocks should we double down in? So look, to understand investing into commodities, you really have to understand like economics and how the debt cycle works. It's not that complicated. It's just some basics that you want. But I'm in three things. So I have a broad commodity fund that I'm holding, and those are not stocks. I'm not in stocks. I'm holding commodity futures. So I have a broad commodity fund which is invested into broad commodities. It's about half my portfolio. And then the other half are oil and natural gas, which are energy commodities, which are going to rip, by the way, and cash. So right now, for the past few months, I'm not investing. I'm just waiting for commodities to be allowed to go up again. Because there's also a big reason why commodities are not going up, which is basically government manipulation. So, for example, Saudi Arabia, like OPEC, in order for OPEC to make money, Saudi Arabia breaks even when they sell oil at $80, $81 per barrel. But oil is below that, even with supply cuts and with increasing demand, probably the highest demand ever. BRICS countries, like you have to understand, we're in an economic war with US, between the US and BRICS. And BRICS countries are primarily energy exporting countries. So to hurt those, you want to keep those prices low. You want to keep energy prices low. And that's what's happening right now. The thing with price is not just there. You can't just make up price. Price is a signal. So if prices are low, that sends a signal to the market that there's no money to be made. And the result is what we're seeing right now. We see rigs shutting down, production getting lower, and that means even lower supply. So the next time we need that resource, like in summer, like right now, or winter, or next summer, there's not going to be enough supply around. So one of two things will happen. Either there's going to be a supply shock. I would say it's a bit too early for that. But if you keep prices artificially low for too long, you will face a supply shock, which means prices will go up inevitably, unless the government intervenes and implements price controls. Or OPEC, BRICS, like all these countries are going to be so pissed. Like the Prince of Saudi Arabia is super pissed right now. And they just create their own commodities exchange. So that's basically what I'm waiting for. So one of those two things will happen. Like, don't ask me when, don't ask me exactly how. I don't know. But sooner rather than later. Yes, I've been learning about that in Briggs. I know, Diana. You're following me since quite a while. Over a year. Which is good. Which is really good. Should I turn on the light actually? And there's lots happening. Next week is going to be very interesting. I mean, I wish you guys would read my market updates. I write them daily. Like, if you like my take on the markets, like, please consider supporting this channel. Link in the bio. I'm surprised your platform hasn't gotten so much bigger. Yeah, it didn't. Yeah. Well, I guess I've just started talking about crypto, right? I don't know. People want quick solutions, They want like, oh, what should I buy? And then I have to tell them like, oh, this ticker, or we'll go up next week, or buy my chart analysis daily, my Bitcoin analytics. You can get them for $9.99 a month. I guess that's what people want, right? And then people who are selling that, they want to like, I'm getting lots of critique, like, oh, why do you have a shaky camera when you go live? Like, like they want me to have like a studio with a podcast and stuff. The thing is, I don't appeal to a general audience, and I don't want to appeal to a general audience. You understand? I don't want to get as many people as possible to buy this one investment I'm talking, could be Bitcoin, because I'm holding stake in it, so I can sell. And sell them my chart gazing, I'm not the chart tart. It's like looking at the horoscope or laying out cards. It doesn't make any sense, right? And I'm not doing that just so I can get a bigger audience. And the price is, like, people who watch it and get it, they get it. And they follow me. And they support me. They want to see my market updates, they read them, they want to learn more, they talk to me personally. And what I'm doing basically is a big filtering out people who are not interested anyways, and who I don't want. But the price is that I'm not that big. That's the price. So yeah. Price I'm paying. I mean, I do have sponsors. They actually sponsor me. Like, I make sponsor videos. Not everyone, of course. Like last week, I got 2 requests from a media company and some other tech company. Like, why would I? It doesn't fit my channel. Like, I don't want to promote that on my channel. I'm too honest. I don't want to. But if it fits what I'm talking about, like recently I even did something about AI. Now there's an AI rally. I talked about it. There's potential to make money there, but people who watch my channel also know that the risks involved, investing against economic fundamentals, right? Just going with the flow and riding that wave. Because if there's a new shiny thing, like today it's yesterday was crypto, now it's AI, and then when the market moves to the new shiny thing, you're left holding the bag, and there's no fundamentals backing you up, right? And then you're forced to sell. So by definition, you lose money. Okay. So that one sponsored video was an exception. It was talking about AI. I use AI myself a lot for writing. But there's other things that I just simply can't talk about, like a media company. You want to promote media. Like, are you insane right now doing this high inflation? You want me to and then they ask me for an explanation why. I explained why. And I get these every week. But the ones that sponsor me, those are like, miners, commodity companies. Sometimes I do like AI, like something that kind of fits. It I think would benefit people. And that's what I do. And they keep me afloat, like all this, and sure, I do this for free, basically, right? Like the money I'm making through my channel is nothing, absolutely nothing. I'm writing a newsletter, like I have followers, yeah, but it's not like I can quit my job now and just do that. I wish I could do that. I could probably have a podcast setting, and a nice email list and all this, but all these things cost money. I just, if I can't build something with like resources now, I don't see a reason pouring in money into it and trying to, like, I don't know, be someone that I'm not, it's just, I don't know, just not me. Okay. Yeah, but you know what? Let's not talk about this. I probably shouldn't talk about this stuff. Indeed, you are right about the market. Sven Ingemar Strinzi, appreciate your work. Gotta run. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you too. Yeah, I was right all along. I said, I think December last year, I said, they're gonna stop rate hikes in the summer. I said it. Like, of course, I can't time the market. Commodities have been going down. Do you know why, though? Do you know why they've been going down? Do you know why? Have they been going down because I was wrong about what I'm talking about? Or they went down because of market manipulation, which nobody can foresee. So, did your charts foresee that? Probably not. Your charts told you at Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was at 69,000 to buy more. Even though I said don't. Oh man, I still have that video saved. I got 1,000 comments just bashing me. You don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. I sold all my tech. I told people to, hey, look, just get out of Bitcoin now. Specifically Bitcoin at 69,000 at peak. I sold Tesla at peak. I sold Tesla. Yeah. And the funny thing is I will never hear from these people again. Never. Crickets. I was right. I am right. But I can't time the market. I can give you a good guess. But what is happening right now, I can tell you, will lead to supply shocks or to BRICS doing a huge move, like creating their own commodities exchange. And the US dollar is going to end up in hyperinflation. That's it. Fize says, what do you think will work now? What do you mean? What do you mean? Roma Uradov says, hey, bud, good to see you. What happened to pesos money if US goes into hyperinflation? You mean like other currencies? So you have to think of it like this. So you have a savings account, right? Like most of us probably have a savings account. I hope so. You have some cash there. But you have to think of it this way. So every country also has a savings account in a way. It's called the treasury. So they hold treasury and they hold like basically cash. They hold dollars, pesos, like all of this. Mostly USD. Okay. It was cheap. Interest rates were low. With the petrodollar, biggest economy in the world, yeah, it makes sense to hold lots of USD, right? What will happen now, though, is that so US enjoyed a period where they could export the inflation. Okay, so let me explain. So Turkey is almost at hyperinflation. It's lots of inflation, and the consequences of that have to be absorbed by the Turkish people, by the country. Turkey doesn't have the luxury to export its lira, that's what the country is called, to other countries because there's not enough demand for it. So they can't export their inflation. But the US can, and could. So they did. But now, after COVID, after stimulus checks, after all this money printing, now with the Ukraine war, almost $200 billion went into there. And the trillions and trillions of dollars they're printing. Countries are reevaluating, and higher rates that make it more expensive to use the US dollar. People looking for alternatives, countries. And it's not like they have to dump the whole treasury, like all their dollars. They just have to rebalance it. And they are. So they will drop their treasuries, like the dollar holdings, and rebalance their balance sheets with other currencies. So now all these trillions of dollars that were locked up, basically frozen in the economy, are going to flood the world economy and come flooding back to the US in form of horrible inflation. So I want to add, this is not something that happens from today to tomorrow. It's happening faster than I thought. But just as an example, Weimar Germany, probably the best example, the most commonly thought of example of hyperinflation. It took 9 years for Weimar Germany to go from printing to hyperinflation. 9 years. We are in year ±1 or 2, actually, if you count, like right after the stimulus checks that programs that were running until 2021. So, and this weekend I was reading, like I'm going to write about it on my market update on Monday. Yellen, the Fed chair, she talked about how de-dollarization is going on, and the dollar is not going to remain, the status quo right now as the world currency. So that's cool. That's going on. Jonathan Tabrizi, hey man, Mr. T, blessing to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. My son Max is in Bad Wimpfen, Germany, visiting. Bad Wimpfen, nice. Is it like a school trip or? Diana saying, what are your thoughts on Fed rate pause? I mean, I have to keep going up anyway. So they're pausing rates now because they will launch CBDC next month. And just with every power grab, okay, you want to create crisis so you can justify that power grab. So my thinking is, like, look, I've been talking about what is going on right now, spot on, since the beginning of the year. I said there will be rate pauses, rates over 5% cannot be sustained. If they will do that, the treasury has to buy those bonds for these high prices with printed money, which is monetizing the debt. And all of this is happening. The pause rates, just like I said, the next thing that I said that will still happen is inflation is going to come magically. It's going to come back magically. No one's going to know how in August, actually like next month already because of base effects, but because CPI is a month backward looking, you will see those numbers in August. And then the Fed will just take credit, flip that, take credit and say, oh, look, we kept inflation this low until now. Oh, well, my thinking is they will let inflation rip, not too much, of course, we'll let it rip. And depending on how ready CBDC is, they're going to cause this crisis, which they just postponed until now, of keeping energy and commodity prices low, energy commodity prices, which are the biggest factors for inflation, by the way, food and energy, right? So not the inflation was kept low, the inflation expectation was kept low. It's going to rise again after August, but the job is done. If CBDC is ready, gets launched next month, and is ready, maybe probably a month after, good, perfect. The inflation itself, the crisis that was, not stoppable anyways, is going to create that crisis so they can do their power grab. That's my thinking. So what are 0.5%? So they said until the end of the year, they will increase rates to 5.6%. What does a 0.5% rate hike matter? What does it matter? It doesn't. So, no thanks to CBDC. That's how they control us. Yeah, literally no thanks. It's just insane. So basically, like when you look at the CPI, you can just double it. That's roughly what the real inflation is. It's going to get worse. Next, they will, the Treasury announced for 2024 that they will monetize the debt. So are you up for dual live? I'm thinking of going live. Would you like to join me? Mr. T, man. I know you're always asking and I always decline. I'm so sorry, but I didn't plan to be live this long. And, maybe like let's plan it and go live together, like on a set time. There's still stuff I have to do, and I don't know. It's just a thing. Like, no problem. Yeah, it's too spontaneous. But if you tell me, hey, what you want to talk about and stuff, and like beforehand, we can schedule it or something. That's totally cool. I'm cool with that. But just like this, I don't know. No problem. Okay, thank you for understanding. All right, so this is going to be a short one. This is actually what I wanted to talk about. I saw articles about China dumping almost $1 trillion in treasuries again, which is a perfect timing for them. They do that once the US announced a rate pause. So yeah, it's not looking good. But I will talk about it on my market update on Monday. So if you're interested about my economic insights, my geopolitics, political insights, and investing insights, please check the link in my bio. I'm writing a market update every day. And you can read it, you can engage in the Lines community, you have access to my resources, and it's a free trial. You can basically just join for free and then decide if you want to stick around or not, and if you want to support this channel. And if I have 250 people on my newsletter, reading my newsletter, I'm gonna have a studio. I'm gonna set up like a nice studio with like a podcast setting, just like those guys want, right? It's like everyone tells me, oh, you should have this, you should have that. I will. So I'm 10% there. So, all right. Anyways, so I have to go. Again, to just come back to my newsletter, there's a free newsletter too. So initially you'll be in the free newsletter. So it's basically like the first two paragraphs I cut from my actual newsletter and posted in the free one. But if you want to continue reading, you can upgrade anytime. And you can also, you will also be in the chat of the free newsletter too. So you can chat with all the free members too and some of us. So, and you can still decide if you want to check my premium. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. Thank you for always joining and following me and supporting me for all this time. I know you, Diana. I remember when I wrote my first book, you were asking me about like those basic questions about investing and stuff. And you were there watching me learn too, right? So I learned, I try to explain what I learned to you guys, and I really thank you for that. All right. Anyways, take care, everyone.